Shadows over Stuttgart, for real-world security wake-up call. Author's note: this weekend, the world became a much more dangerous place. Those supervisors and garrison staff planning to travel beyond the borders of Germany are reminded to adhere to the garrison commander's directed foreign travel reporting policy. Stay vigilant and maintain situation awareness. Welcome to our Stuttgart community messaging platform called the OPSEC Minute Extended. On Mondays, we use this space and posted YouTube videos to share both a little OPSEC, or Operation Security Wisdom, along with an occasional Marvel team-up bridge that ties into other regulatory security disciplines and policies. Please feel free to like, share with family or friends, or subscribe and check out the video of this and other OPSEC Minute extended stories on our YouTube. At Secure Narratives channel, simply click the link and let our stories capture your imagination as they play in the background while you tackle your morning routine and backlog of email. Now, enjoy this special episode of our Secure Narrative. Prologue: A quiet morning disturbed. At 0630 local time on a pale Saturday morning, United States Army garrison Stuttgart looked half asleep. Early spring clung to rooftops like a thin veil of frost. Soldiers jogged past housing blocks, breath fogging the air. A couple pushed a stroller toward the bakery. Somewhere, a dog barked impatiently for breakfast. Routine, predictable, safe. Then, at 0645 local time, the rhythm fractured. Phones buzzed across Patch, Panzer, Kelly, and Robinson barracks. Tablets chimed. A sharp alert tone echoed inside kitchens, offices, and barracks rooms. Worldwide caution in effect, heightened risk environment due to military strikes and potential retaliation. In the OPSEC office, the glow of the message reflected off a metal desk. Mr. James J.B. Brooks read it once. Then again, years in intelligence had carved stillness into him, the stillness of someone who had watched crises unfold from Kabul to the Red Sea. But this one felt different. Closer. He picked up the phone. Colonel Sanford. We need the Crisis Action Group immediately. The quiet morning was over. Act 1. The Gathering Storm. The briefing room filled with deliberate urgency. Colonel Edward Sanford entered first, tall, composed, decisive. Command Sergeant Major Christopher Melendez followed, steady and grounded, his presence enough to settle the air. Around the table, Mr. Alonzo Edwards, Command Security Manager. Mr. Robert Gwinner, Deputy to the Garrison Commander. Lieutenant Colonel Daniel Jimenez, Director of Emergency Services. Mr. Kyle Curry, Mr. Brian Buchner, and Mr. Robert Taylor from Directorate of Plans, Training, Mobilization, and Security. Mr. Luke Freilich, Anti-Terrorism Officer. Sergeant First Class Kaylee Schrader, Anti-Terrorism NCOIC. Captain Balawitif Obem, HHC Commander. Mr. Dennis Heaney, Director of Human Resources. Mr. Joe Johnson, Director of Directorate of Family, Morale, Welfare, and Recreation. Mr. Demetrius Gandy, Resource Management Director. Chaplain Colonel David Curlin. Red Cross Station Director Peter Butner and Deputy Director Aaron Owsley. Coffee steamed. Laptops opened. JB projected the first slide. Airspace closures, embassy alerts, regional security warnings. Iran and the United States are in a kinetic exchange, he said evenly. Strikes have triggered embassy posture changes, global advisories, and increased threat reporting. Retaliation, direct or asymmetric, is assessed as likely. Images cycled, diverted flights arcing around restricted zones, demonstrations forming in European capitals, U.S. facilities tightening security. This affects travel, visibility, cyber posture, and force protection, JB continued. We're not isolated from this. Colonel Sanford leaned forward. This isn't distant news, he said. It affects our people, our families, our movements. Every action we take now hinges on disciplined OPSEC. The room, Understood. Act 2. Mapping the threat. JB dimmed the lights. 3 categories, he said. 1. Physical threats overseas. Embassies raising security conditions. Shelter-in-place guidance in select regions. Airlines rerouting or delaying flights. A closure in one region cascades globally, JB said. Leave travel is immediately affected. 2. Demonstrations and civil unrest. European capitals preparing for protests near U.S.-affiliated locations. Peaceful at noon, JB warned. Unpredictable by sunset. Lieutenant Colonel Jimenez nodded. Directorate of Emergency Services will coordinate with host nation law enforcement for situational awareness. 3. Cyber and information threats. Probing network activity. Narrative shaping online. Attempts to exploit uncertainty among overseas military communities. Mr. Edwards added quietly, oversharing becomes a vulnerability multiplier. Chaplain Curlin folded his hands. Our community will feel this emotionally, he said. We must inform without inflaming. The crisis was no longer abstract. It was operational and human. Act 3. The human factor. The discussion turned toward leave and foreign travel. Spring break approached. Families had reservations in Italy, France, Austria, Greece. Joe Johnson spoke first. We have hundreds of personnel planning cross-border trips. Helen McKinney, Community Fingerprint Coordinator, leaned forward. Foreign travel reporting is critical right now. Accountability enables assistance. GB nodded. A weekend trip across the border may feel routine. In a volatile environment, it isn't. This isn't bureaucracy, it's readiness. Dennis Heaney confirmed DHR would push reminders immediately. From the back of the room, Postmaster Alfonso Hayes muttered, "Lose a parcel. Frustrating. Lose track of personnel overseas? That's unacceptable." A small ripple of laughter cut the tension. But the point stood. And then, without anyone realizing it yet, the abstract conversation became personal. Act 4. Wrong place, wrong time. Jessica Jessie Navarro had departed Stuttgart 4 days earlier under very different circumstances. 32 years old. A civilian workforce analyst in resource management under Mr. Gandhi, Jessie was known for precision, quiet competence, reliable follow-through. She worked the numbers that kept operations moving. This trip wasn't operational. Her grandmother, the last matriarch of her family, had been living in Doha with extended relatives. Decades earlier, she herself had worked within the Stuttgart military community before retiring abroad. When her health declined suddenly, the Red Cross moved swiftly. Peter Butner and Aaron Owsley coordinated verification. DHR expedited leave. Flights were booked within hours. Jessie arrived in time to hold her grandmother's hand in those final moments. The funeral was intimate, dignified, heavy with memory. Then her phone vibrated. Worldwide caution in effect. Within hours, American schools in Doha announced temporary closure. Security visibly tightened near diplomatic areas. Airport boards flickered with delays and reroutings. Her return flight shifted from confirmed to delayed pending clearance. Wrong place, wrong time. But Jessie did not panic. She called Aaron. "Aaron, it's Jessie. I'm still in Doha." There was a pause on the other end. "You're there now?" "Yes. Funeral just concluded. Flights are unstable." "I wanted to report in." That call, responsible, measured, triggered the update reaching JB minutes later inside the Stuttgart briefing room. Shelter-in-place advisories began circulating among American expatriates. Social media churned with speculation. Jessie resisted posting. No airport photos, no commentary, no geotagged updates. She remembered every OPSEC brief she had ever heard. Patterns matter, locations matter, timing matters. Instead, she formally checked in through Red Cross channels and updated her status. In Stuttgart, when JB heard Aaron's voice on the line describing conditions in Doha, he didn't hear a distant development. He heard one of their own. Colonel Sanford absorbed the information carefully. "This just became personal," he said quietly. Act 5. Coordinated Response. The room shifted into execution mode. Directorate of Emergency Services. Lieutenant Colonel Jimenez and Deputy Director Edgar Odalora reviewed force protection measures. Physical Security Officer Eric Frazier reassessed access control posture. Deputy Physical Security Officer Mikhail Rumfrey confirmed camera audits and perimeter checks. Directorate of Plans, Training, Mobilization, and Security. Director Kyle Corey and Chief of Operations Brian Buckner synchronized messaging. Robert Taylor aligned protection measures with tenant units. Luke Fralick updated threat matrices. Sergeant First Class Schrader refined personal security guidance. Resource Management. Mr. Gandhi began reallocating contingency funds to support elevated posture requirements. HHC. Captain Obemb prepared leader engagement plans down to the company level. Religious Support. Chaplain Curlin scheduled outreach sessions for families experiencing heightened anxiety. Red Cross. Peter Butner confirmed emergency communication lines. Aaron maintained contact with Jesse in Doha. Act 6. The Counterintelligence Lens. Act 6. The Counterintelligence Lens. Later that afternoon, 2 members of the Stuttgart Army counterintelligence team arrived. Special Agent Marcus Hale, a seasoned investigator with prior deployments in Eastern Europe, carried a quiet intensity. Beside him, Special Agent Annika Roth, analytical, precise. Fluent in both German and English, reviewed open-source indicators we're seeing increased narrative shaping online, Roth said. Attempts to amplify fear among U.S. personnel overseas. Hale added, adversaries exploit routine patterns. Travel photos, unit identifiers, background details in harmless-looking posts. JB nodded. We'll reinforce digital hygiene. Army counterintelligence would monitor threat indicators, but prevention began at the individual level. Act 7. The Message. By late afternoon, the unified message was ready. Colonel Sanford recorded a direct address to the community. Global events have elevated the security environment. There is no specific threat to Stuttgart at this time. However, vigilance and accountability are essential. He emphasized 5 points. 1. Know the threat environment. Global instability has local impact. 2. Report all foreign travel. Accountability enables assistance. 3. Protect your information. No real-time travel updates. No itineraries. 4. Rely on official sources. Facts over rumors. 5. Engage support early. Red Cross, chaplains. Mental health services. The message circulated across official channels. Acknowledgements began flowing in. Act 8. The ripple widens. As Stuttgart stabilized, Doha remained uncertain. Jesse sat in a quiet hotel room overlooking a restless city. Helicopters passed intermittently in the distance. News anchors speculated. Airport updates shifted hourly. Her flight was now listed as standby. She texted Aaron, "Still here, monitoring official guidance. No movement yet." Across continents, the Red Cross tracked her status carefully. Back in Stuttgart, JB received an additional update from CI. Online chatter referencing U.S. personnel in transit through the Gulf. Agent Roth reported. Non-specific, but elevated. JB felt the weight of timing. 1 garrison employee. 1 unstable airspace. 1 unpredictable escalation cycle. He briefed Colonel Sanford quietly. "We remain proactive," the colonel said. "We don't speculate." But the tension was undeniable. Epilogue, standing ready. Dusk settled over Stuttgart in muted orange light. Families walked through courtyards, unaware of the hours of coordination unfolding behind secure doors. Captain Obem finalized unit talking points. Sergeant First Class Schrader updated threat slides. Mr. Gandhi confirmed resource adjustments. Directorate of Emergency Services completed perimeter checks. Red Cross verified contact protocols. In Doha, Jessie refreshed the airline portal again. No update. She closed her laptop, steadied herself, and reviewed emergency numbers once more. Prepared, disciplined, patient. Back in Stuttgart, Colonel Sanford stepped outside briefly, hands folded behind his back. The world beyond Germany's borders was shifting rapidly. Embassies alert, protests forming, cyber actors probing. But here, inside this community, preparation had replaced panic. JB joined him. "Think she'll get out tomorrow?" JB asked quietly. Colonel Sanford watched families walking home under a calm sky. "She will," he said, after a pause. "Because she followed the process. Because we stayed connected." He looked back toward the headquarters building. "OPSEC isn't restriction," he added. "It's protection." Above Stuttgart, the night settled peacefully. But across the globe, departure boards continued flickering in Doha. And somewhere between grief and geopolitics, one member of the Stuttgart community waited for clearance as the ripple of global conflict continued to widen. Thank you for sticking around as we continue testing the boundaries of an extended storyboard. Think of it as security training with a plot twist and a fresh way to both educate our team and connect with our military community. Subscribe to our @Secure Narratives YouTube channel. Hit us with a like and watch for our new updates. Also, if you have other suggestions or ideas or are interested in a personalized name drop or your work center's inclusion to our tales, don't hold back. Send a quick note or use the interactive customer evaluation system to share your thoughts. We're all ears and ready to make things even better. So, until next Monday's OPSEC Minute Extended, keep those comments coming and stay engaged.